Thank you, Professor Lubna, Dr. Hanan, and all our respectable guests, delegates, Professor Abdul Basit, Professor Zaman Sheikh, Professor Azad, and all our respected guests. Assalamu alaikum. This is a very happy occasion for us to present and launch this book on hyperglycemia and pregnancy for the first time internationally. We have launched this book in Pakistan last year, 12th March. Now this is the first occasion that we are launching this book internationally, and I'm thankful to Dr. Misbah and Dr. Adil Al-Sayyed to provide me this opportunity. So the question is that what is that important in the book that it has to be launched internationally? As Dr. Nadima has just said, that there are so many controversies and so many uncertainties about hyperglycemia and pregnancy. So let us see whether we are able to address those controversies and those problems in the book. So I'll start the journey. I am very thankful to Professor Ahmed Bilal. He is the Dean of Medicine in Pakistan in one of the university hospitals, and he is the chief editor of the book. And we are 6 editors, 3 editors and 3 sub-editors of the book. And this is the book, Diabetes in Pregnancy. This is the book, Diabetes in Pregnancy. So we'll soon be launching it. How it all started? It started with the formation of guidelines. When COVID started and we had nothing to do sitting back home, so we started writing guidelines for Pakistan, that is on hyperglycemia and pregnancy. These guidelines took almost 9 months, and finally they were published in Official Journal of DAS, of which Dr. Misbah is the president, and it was published in 2020. And these were the authors, all senior authors from Pakistan. And later on, once these guidelines were published, we were requested by the president, chairperson of MENA region, to write guidelines for MENA region. And that again started, this was the group of 29 authors from 19 countries of MENA region. You know, MENA region has 22 countries, so 19 countries participated. And I salute the passion, inspiration, and insane amount of time to craft these guidelines. And finally, these guidelines for MENA region, which Dr. Nadima is just speaking, got published again in Journal of Diabetology, and it's available online. And this guideline is very different from the conventional guidelines that you will see, including the chapters of guidelines on diabetes, fasting, pregnant women fasting in Ramadan. So when this was published, Dr. Nadima, who just presented her very nice lecture, she said that why not to write a book? I said, Nadima, let us have some breathing space. But she said that if we breathe, the group is going to break. So Nadima, Professor Ahmed Bilal, and myself started thinking about it, and then this group of sub-editors, who again are from Pakistan, we started thinking about writing the book. Initially, we thought we would write 8 to 9 chapters, and then we are done with. But then the number of authors, they kept on increasing, everybody volunteered, and there were a number of Zoom meetings throughout this book writing. And finally, 147 authors from 23 countries contributed different chapters to this book. What are the highlights of this book? It addressed controversies surrounding the definition, screening, and diagnosis at length. And then the special thing about this book is the artwork. All the artwork is done by one of our assistant professor of physiology in one of the university hospitals, Dr. Aisha Fazal, and none of the picture whatsoever is taken from anywhere else other than our own. And she had this artwork by herself, and this urine doctor when the diagnosis was made by the color or the taste of the urine. Then the book has almost 69 illustrations, all handmade, including the cover page that you just saw, and you can see the hawk vision. The hawk vision was given to this picture was made for ultrasound. That ultrasound is hawk vision and can diagnose fetal anomalies and other things. Then this picture, the first one, this Elizabeth Evan Hughes, she was the daughter of Secretary of State of United States, and she had type 1 diabetes, and you know those days, 100 years back, people with type 1 diabetes were meant to starve or to die. If they starve, they will live. If they don't starve, if they eat, they will die. So this picture we were not finding anywhere because it was among Creative Commons. So Dr. Aisha said that, okay, don't worry, I'll draw it. And she made this sketch with her own pencil and pen. And this girl, she lived 73 years and had 40,000 insulin injections throughout her life. She was among first of the few women who were given insulin 100 years back. And then this artwork, Queen Mother. Every mother is a queen who needs special attention from her spouse, family, and society. So Dr. Misbah was saying that the stage is given to the women. I thought, no, we need men also. And then another artwork, this was about exercise, that treat every mother like an empress, provide her a congenial environment for physical activity. Then Warrior Prince and Two Sisters artwork. Each chapter is accompanied with an artwork. Finally, as I said, this book was launched on 12th of March 2022 in one of the cities of Pakistan, that is Faisalabad University. Now, not only this artwork and the scientific work, but also this book is accompanied with, there are 9 poems written in this book. And if you can see the last one, they eat to live and we eat and die. This is about type 1 diabetes. They starve to death, keep fast us alive. Fast keeps us alive. Then dogs give hope, they give it a try. And cattle came to save our life. Talking about beef insulin that was available. This mystery words and spread like fire. Oh darling, you made us alive. I means insulin. And the certain common questions are answered at the end of both the chapters about women and caregiver. Like, do all women develop hyperglycemia in pregnancy? In which trimester GDM is more common? And things like that. Evidence-based recommendations which were given by international associations, they were discussed and they were analyzed, and then finally the consensus was given. Some myths and misconceptions were also addressed in this book. A pregnant woman should eat for 2. Is that right or not? Not right. And another, like the last one, fizzy drinks help to control the symptoms of heartburn. Then multiple meal plans are prepared by qualified nutritionists, catering different caloric requirements with special attention to diabetes in pregnancy. And the concept of plate was given in the book for regular purposes and also for diabetics. Colored photographs to explain the techniques. These photographs were taken in my own clinic, and one of our diabetes educator from Pakistan, she took these pictures. Then stepwise approach to screening, diagnosis and management of conditions and emergencies. And this is very interesting. Again, every zebra stripes are unique. Although they may look the same, no 2 zebras have the same stripe pattern. Similarly, this is an analogy to euglycemic diabetic ketoacidosis in pregnancy. A variant of diabetic ketoacidosis may seem similar, but DKA is different in its presentation, pathophysiology, biochemical values, and treatment when it comes to pregnancy. And there is a whole detailed chapter on DKA in this book. We will not find it anywhere else. To ensure the authenticity and originality of all the contents, the similarity index of each chapter was maintained below 5 to 10%, and there are no commercial values attached to this. This book was presented in Lisbon last month to Professor Andrew Bolton. He is the past president of IDF, and he is the one who wrote forward for this book. And Professor Akhtar Hussain, who is the present president of IDF, and also President-elect Professor Peter Schwartz. And the chair of the MENA region were also presented this book. This book is endorsed by Ministry of Health, Government of Pakistan. You can see the green logo there, and also by IDF MENA region and many other diabetic associations of the world, including the Society of Obstetrics and Gynecology of Pakistan. And we are thankful to all the countries for their participation. As I said, 23 countries, authors from 23 countries have contributed to this book. And I hope that you will enjoy reading. And this month only, Professor Peter was invited by us, especially Professor Abdul Basit and Dr. Professor Zaman Sheikh and myself to Pakistan. And he came, and what he said, let us hear about this.
Sir, please.
It's a great honor for me, and I'm very emotional in the moment.
Sir, please.
It's a great honor for me, and I'm
Please.
It's a great honor for me, and I'm very emotional in the moment because I just received 2 copies of the prevention book to me from Professor Bilal. I'm very, very thankful to all this enormous work you have done, all the effort you have invested to draft this big book together. I'm fascinated also by the idea to combine art and medicine for each chapter. This is something very special, and it will have an impact to the field. So thank you very much to all of you for putting this effort on, all this energy, all this time, all these ideas, and I feel honored that I'm part of this book. Thank you very much. Shukriya.
And the last but not the least, this book was dedicated to our very beloved Professor A. Samad Shera, who is a legend in diabetes. He passed away almost 3 years back. And the idea that when we completed the book, and we were about to complete the book, this idea was given by many of the authors. So the secret of getting ahead is getting started, very rightly said by Dr. Mark Twain. Thank you all the authors for the insane amount of time, dedication, inspiration, and motivation put to complete this book. And I would like to say that many of the authors of the book I can see in the hall, and I would request all the authors to please come on the stage. Dr. Nadima, Professor Misbah, Dr. Adil Al-Sayyad, Dr. Lubna, Professor Lubna, and Dr. Abdullah Hamak,